So I was living in Sacramento when I first started thinking about transition to male. I knew I wasn't going to start that process till I moved back to Virginia anyway, because I wanted to have a more established community and my family around me for that. So it wasn't until about 2001 that I was able to really start the process of transitioning. My name is Ted Heck. I go to Richmond, Virginia Friends Meeting, and I'm a Transgender Health Services Coordinator for the state. It was just a matter of being my full self, and I knew that Quakers would value that, and even if some might struggle with it a little or be a little uncomfortable, I think that it would be valued. And so I think knowing that gave me a lot of sort of a foundation and support for being able to move forward. When I realized, I sort of figured out my timeline for beginning transition and everything, I realized that I was going to need to find a way to tell people without having to explain it to every single person. And so I asked for a clearness committee. I was pretty clear, I was pretty specific that when I asked for this, that I wanted the committee to help me figure out how to tell meeting. But even though I spelled it out very specifically, there was still some confusion among the people that I asked to be on the committee. Some of them still were not. They thought that I wanted help in deciding whether to transition or not, and so our first conversation was, no, that's settled. There's no question about whether that's happening. It's definitely happening, and what I really need help with is figuring out how to tell everybody. After sitting with that for a while, we came up with a great strategy, which was for me to write a letter that would go in the newsletter, and it would be part of a longer piece from the clearness committee, sort of inviting people to contact them if there were questions, so that I didn't get all the questions. And so that really went very well. I felt very supported, and people did reach out to me, but it wasn't in a way that was overwhelming, and people were really supportive and just really great about it. There was one individual that I later found out was uncomfortable with it, and he brought his concern to, I think, Ministry and Worship, and Ministry and Worship told him that it was his problem. So, that was great. But anyway, I think most people, most trans folks do not have the experience that I had, and I'm really grateful to have been so supported. Richmond, Virginia meeting recently finally got around to doing a minute that is deliberately welcoming to transgender people. It's interesting because, I wouldn't have thought it would have mattered that much, but once it was happening and we were actually talking about it in the meeting, I realized just how much it did matter. It's one thing to sort of know that people are supportive and you know, but to have it explicitly stated in a official way, and then to know that people want to take further steps to publicize that the meeting is supportive beyond just the meeting community. That's it really makes a difference. It's hard to, when there's so much, so many things in the world, so many places where you either feel unwelcome or you feel uncertain about whether you're welcome. It's really important to have space like that, and to have that as part of my monthly meeting it's really important.
Hi, I'm here at Richmond Friends Meeting in Richmond, Virginia, just to say thank you for watching this Quaker Speak video. We release new videos every Thursday, and you can subscribe to the project. That button is over here. You can support the project for as little as $1 per video. That link is just below me. And you can see all the videos that we've ever released down here. Hope you have a great Thursday.